Blue linings playbook, the game plan Democrats need after a disaster. And I mean all parts of that. This was a disaster, but we can manage it. And I'm really not trying to be sugarcoating this. The election was terrible for America. We're going to have to endure Trump's renewed assault on the Constitution and his destructive ideas that could wreck the economy and put us all in danger. It's also not quite as bad as it looks at first. In the short term, there is a tested playbook that Democrats can use to mitigate the damage. So here's what this all looks like. There's this old joke, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Now that's a bit on the nose, but it's apt. Once you break down the realities of Trump's second term, it's not quite as overwhelming. For one thing, it's not forever. This will be Trump's final term. That's in the Constitution. That's going to stick. And while that seems to suggest that we have a 4-year problem coming up, it's actually mostly a 2-year problem. Historically, a president's ability to accomplish anything legislatively wanes significantly after the first 2 years. I mean, you can look no further than our current president, but seriously, it's true for Biden. It's true for every single recent president. Every midterm election of the past 20 years has brought a major thermostatic backlash against the party of the president. And even if 2026 breaks that mold, a lame duck Trump is going to have a much harder time pushing his agenda among Republicans positioning for 2028. Remember, when he's not on the ballot, his sway over the electorate has been decidedly mixed. Republicans know that. When they're looking ahead to 2028, yes, Trump will still have a lot of power and a big ability to fundraise, but these Republicans read newspapers too. They know that in the midterms, when Trump wasn't on the ballot, the candidates he endorsed didn't do well. In 2022, there was an average MAGA penalty of being a Trump-endorsed candidate of 5 points. So look, I'm not guaranteeing anything, especially after the past week, but there's a very strong case that Trump is going to wield a lot less influence among congressional Republicans in his 3rd and 4th year. And the next 2 years won't necessarily be a cakewalk for him, even if he has a Republican Congress. Sure, there are going to be plenty of Trump lapdogs yipping around the Capitol dome, but Senate Republicans are going to have to defend many more seats than Democrats in 2026. One senior Republican aide actually called it a nightmare map. Senate veterans like Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski and Tom Tillis are going to have a major incentive to watch their step when they're walking near a MAGA cliff. And look, if Democrats take control of the House, and as of now, that remains uncertain, their ability to stop the worst Trump extremes is going to go up significantly. Even if they don't, they're going to have the same opportunity to delay and diffuse and delouse that they used successfully 8 years ago in the same situation. Remember, Trump did get one major tax bill in his first 2 years, but not much else. Democrats were able to slow the gears and exploit real fractures in the Republican coalition and expose the worst offenses to force Republicans to stand them down. They can do it again. Now, that does leave executive actions and judicial appointments, and these are dangerous. Trump will surely inflict serious pain on the administration of justice. From his Project 2025 plan to turn DOJ into a Trump retribution squad, to the chance to further cement an unshakable far-right Supreme Court. But for the time being, the judicial branch of government is still going to provide a powerful check on Trump power grabs. As much as the Supreme Court has been captured by MAGA loyalists cosplaying as strict constructionist justices, it's actually the lower federal courts that make the vast majority of final determinations. During the critical next 2 years, Democrats are ironically going to be able to use the same maneuver on Trump's actions that Trump just used to kill his multiple criminal cases, tying them up in the legal system. Again, I don't want to oversell this. Trump appointed about a quarter of the federal judges during his first term. Biden's about to hit that number during his term. So over the course of the next 4 years, assuming that the judges appointed during Trump's first term mostly don't retire, and assuming that he continues appointing justices at about the same rate, you could have almost half the judges in the federal judiciary be Trump appointed. That's definitely terrible. My point is just that it's not all going to happen at once. There's a long lead time. And right now, federal courts, for the most part, with the exception of the Fifth Circuit, have been pretty rational, pretty even-handed, and have mostly upheld the law. And that's going to continue to be the case for a while. My overall point, again, is Democrats can't stop everything, but they're going to be able to stifle the onslaught.